Good evening, sports fans. PlayitRight TV is live tonight on a Wednesday. I'm Diane Castillo with the Dean, Kenito Henson, and we have some super special guests tonight. We're so excited to bring them to you. We have one exclusive. We have a surprise guest. Later, we're going to introduce her. But first of all, we have, one of the top guy in Philippine sports, Kenito. Go ahead.
That's right. We'll introduce our first guest, none other than the Philippine Olympic Committee President, Congressman Bambol Tolentino.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening,
Kenito,
sir.
Good evening, Diane. Good evening.
Thank you again. So nice to have you. And of course, we have tonight the world's number 5 pole vaulter, number 1 in Asia, number 1 in Southeast Asia, and of course, number 1 in the Philippines, none other than EJ Obiena, all the way from Italy. Is that where you are now, EJ?
Yes po. Nice to see you guys po.
Nice
to see you, EJ.
And later we'll introduce Kenito, our surprise guest for our audience na first time makikita on my Philippine viewers. So
And I don't know if I'm most excited to interview her than these two gentlemen with us today.
yeah. Well, we're gonna start off with
Get
EJ.
this ball rolling.
Yeah, first of all, EJ, congratulations on your fantastic performance so far this year in 2022. You've had an some amazing results not long after your knee surgery. So you had a tough year end and you had a unpredictable start of the indoor season because you had to undergo knee surgery, but then you jumped 5.91. How good does it feel to be able to jump just a little bit short of your personal best, but so far your highest jump?
It feels great. I mean, I'm brutally honest. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of my team. I'm proud of the people that surrounds me. And they made a lot of good call. Let's just say that. And even I myself it's rare that an athlete surprises himself, and I did, and I think I'm quite happy about it.
Oh, that's so nice to hear, no? When an athlete surprises himself, ibig sabihin, you didn't expect it yourself. You didn't expect to do it that good. Did you expect it, Congressman Bambol from EJ?
Of course.
In France?
Of course. Kaya ni EJ yan.
Optimism.
Of course.
Pero 5.91 was incredible. It was good for a silver finish, just behind 6.02, which was the gold medalist. And then you beat Thiago Bras, who came in bronze, right? Your good friend. So
that was also a new Philippine record in indoor. That 5.91 indoor jump of EJ. That's a new Philippine record. That's amazing. But can I ask the question, EJ? You came from surgery. After a few weeks, you were jumping. How is that possible? What kind of miracle happened that you started to jump after just a few weeks from surgery?
I think first is like just the quality of medicine and the doctor. The way he did the surgery is really next level. I don't think to be honest, I asked a lot of doctors. I asked doctors from Dubai. I asked doctors in Philippines. I even asked my doctor who did my ACL. Everybody said you're gonna be out for two months at least.
Oh, wow!
Everybody's like, I don't think it's realistic that what he's saying. 6 days and you're gonna be fine. And then they're also telling me, it's kind of odd that you're getting not a general anesthesia, just in that point, and then they put me under general anesthesia. It's just. He knows what he's doing, and I think it's a really good call from my coach, and then a really good call from him as well to say, we need to do the surgery as soon as possible, and you can make the indoor season. And long story short, he's right, and it's not just my efforts. It's definitely just a bunch of different people really making sure that I make the right calls in the right time.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Tom Bambol, how lucky is the Philippines that we have someone like EJ with us performing the way he does, and also during your term as POC president?
Tama. We're very, very lucky. I think we need to be able to have next or new EJ. We need at least 15 years again or 20 years to
Mm.
develop new EJ or next EJ. So we're very, very lucky. We have precious world-class athletes during my term fund. So thank God
Yes,
for
do
that.
you? Well, you've had the magic touch since the 2019 SEA Games, Combambol, all the way to the Tokyo Olympics. Now, of course, everybody's asking, the coming SEA Games, ano ho talaga? Makakalaro ba si EJ sa SEA Games o hindi? Combambol.
Well, yes, I need to tell you frankly, we just this morning, we included EJ and his team to be part of the SEA Games in Vietnam. Whether he was not endorsed by Patafa,
Mm.
we endorse him. Remember, we have the last say. The only problem is yung question mo kanina na makakalaro ba? So with that, uh, we're waiting for something before May SEA Games or Vietnam SEA Games if he will be allowed.
Mm.
Smooth sana kung both of us, Patafa and NOC, will both endorse. So even without the endorsement of Patafa, we endorse EJ and his team, including his Ukrainian coach.
Oh,
Para
si
naman,
Vitaly Petrov.
yeah, Petrov, Coach Petrov. So
Mm.
para naman makipakita natin yung support sa nangyari sa Ukraine. Sa
Yes.
nangyari sa Ukraine ngayon. So
Yes.
we included him in the team EJ. Kahit
Nice.
walang support from Patafa or support from government, POC na we look for the funding for them to join SEA Games.
Wow.
The only
Kong,
the only question now is if we will be allowed to play. That's our biggest challenge. That's our biggest
mm.
challenge. We still hoping that he will be allowed. But Kinito, there are many ways to skin a cat. So meron pa rin kaming meron pa rin kaming tinatago for that.
Talagang determined si Kong Bambol ever since the issue came out to include EJ. Is this the first time that the POC is doing this?
No,
Signing up an athlete that was not endorsed by their national
I don't
association?
think so. Dayan, I think there was a same athletics. Correct me if I'm wrong. Sa history, I think nangyari yan kay Lydia De Vega and Del
Mm.
Prado. May
Isidro
nagsabi sa
Del
akin, hindi ko lang,
Prado. At
yeah,
natanggap
hindi ko lang
sila sa SEA
na-research.
Games?
Yes, during that, is it the time of Sering or what? May nagsabi
Mm.
sa akin na nangyari na yan before. Hindi ko lang
Okay.
na research.
So
And they were
EJ,
allowed. They were allowed to play.
that's good news. EJ, I mean, I know you're jumping with the best in the world in Europe, right? And you have your sights set sa 2024. Pero gaano kahalaga for you to be able to participate sa Southeast Asian Games and defend your gold?
It's big, kumbaga, I'm defending. I'm not just defending my title. I'm defending the number of goals that we can actually bring, and of course, just being able to compete and represent the flag. It's a different sense of pride and honor and glory. Like competing in the games is in a championship level competition. It's different. You're literally you're raising the flag in a platform that it's the just not just me. Let's just say that. And I hope I'll be able to contribute to the Philippine team and contribute to the country, and I hope I'll get the chance to fight for that gold.
Well, it's super good news na pati yung coach mo, Kong Bumble, has included in the lineup that
Yeah.
was sent by the POC. So, but the question is, do you think Vitaly will travel to Vietnam? Will he be able to? And of course, we also want to ask you how he is given the situation in Ukraine and him having for sure relatives and friends in his home country.
He's doing better. Definitely doing better than the first few days. The first few days were tough. You see him a little bit in our word, uliro, medyo uliro po. I mean,
Mm.
he has relatives, he has family, friends there. But the moment that most of the family and members are safe and they're okay, he's a little bit calmed down and a little bit more back to normal po. Regarding if he's going to SEA Games, I mean, he knows that I'm competing. We have we have a bet, so he kind of owes me one travel to Asia. So I'm gonna pull
Ah,
that card and and Vitaly, let's go.
Well, EJ, we know there's the World Indoor Athletics Championships coming up in Serbia. That'll be on March 18. Assuming that you'll be able to compete, and we hope that you will, we're all praying that that happens. From then until the Southeast Asian Games in May, what will happen? Will you be able to compete in more tournaments before the in between?
I think we're gonna have a bit of a competition before SEA Games. I think just one or two, just to kind of polish the competitive, the competitive situation and how I adapt to the new strength and weaknesses that I would probably, how do you say, have after the off season. But then I believe one of the first competitions is SEA Games in just train, foundation training. The good thing SEA Games right now is not in December, so it's part of the season. It's now part of the season, and it's gonna be very. I think I'm looking forward to it, and I want to make history.
Well,
nice.
now for Kong Bumble, this question. Um, we're seeing the mediation process that's ongoing. Of course, there is a gag order. No one is talking about the mediation process, which is now ongoing. Um, but despite this, there was um, an appeal made by Patafa to the Court of Arbitration. Something like that, Kong Bumble, costs a lot of money. Um, sayang naman kung gumastos pa ang Patafa for something like this when that money could go to the athletes' welfare. And I also think, Kong Bambol, if I'm not mistaken, this could be the first time that two organizations from the same country are bringing a dispute to the Court of Arbitration in Switzerland. Parang nakakahiya sa bansa natin.
Yes, kinita not only kaya sa bansa natin, but in the whole world. Bili mo, si NSA mo, in-elevate sa CAS. No? And baka nakalimutan nila kung how expensive we will be paying for Swiss francs, including the lawyers, including the arbitrators. We're gonna share for it kung magkano total noon. Kung umabot yun ng 50,000 Swiss francs, then di sana ginamit na lang sa atleta or sa what programs ng Patafa. Kasi the only solution there is to mediate. After the mediation, kung ang problema lang yung persona non grata, after the mediation, yun naman ang kulatilya namin ng POC General Assembly. After that, then the following day, we can call for a review and reconsider by the Executive Board and next by the General Assembly. Ganun lang ka-simple ba? Di ba? So bakit pa kailangan i-elevate doon? He is the complainant. We are the respondent, EJ and the POC. Imagine, baka nakalimutan pa rin na if you talk about POC, it includes Patafa. So ang respondent, POC, including Patafa, because Patafa is also a member of POC.
That's right.
Ayan.
Well, No, that's, I mean, hopefully nga after the mediation, things will be clear and smooth for EJ na makapag-training in peace, di ba? Because it does take up a lot of your mental effort, to be able to be thinking about these things. EJ, despite everything that's going on around you, so much challenge and pressure from the outside, how is how do you think you have been able to perform the way you have, and how do you go about your day-to-day planning, and how different is it prior to when you had these problems?
One of the reasons why I'm surprised of my performance is I didn't believe that I'm ready. I wasn't confident that I'm at my 100%. Um, I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so inconsistent. Mentally, I wasn't, I didn't believe that, hey, I'm ready for this. I'm well prepared because my training is inconsistent. It adapts to
Mm.
whatever happens outside of my training, which Vitaly hates. But I'm very
Mm.
lucky that I have a team that sticks with me. My physio who works around, like I'm on a call and then he's still doing the physio. I was like, I'm really sorry, but I need to do this. And them sticking to me and just we just keep doing our work the best that we can with the given circumstance. And I
Yes.
think what the last competition just showed me is that with the right preparation, with the let's just say a decent performance is right around the corner, and I believe I can truly jump 6 meters. And considering that surgery was just done like a month and a half ago, I'm quite positive. Mentally, I am very optimistic on my abilities to perform and compete.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna ask you about jumping 6 meters because you're so close. You're so close to it. Ano ba yung sinasabi ni Vitaly sa'yo? Like, how does he think you're gonna be able to do that? Ano yung timetable mo? Or is it just like day by day? Or does he say, konti na lang, just a little bit? Can you share with us a little bit about the 6 meter plan?
He was laughing the first attempt in Rouen because
Oh.
I don't know if you guys you were able to watch it. The first attempt I was close, and then the moment I landed the pit, I started to look at him. It's like it's possible. I was like, what's happening? and then I went to him. He was like, I told you. That's why I told you to pass 96. I told you to go to 6 meters because you can. And then he started to say, you need a bigger pole. You need a bigger stick. The
Oh.
problem we didn't have in that competition, I told you I didn't really expect it. I think it's a bit of my mistake. I should have brought bigger poles, but I wasn't prepared to what I could do in that day. And yeah, he was. I could have. Ah, that's okay. It's gonna come. It's gonna come.
It will come.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Um, you were telling me the other day about how motivated you were for that competition in France because you were thinking about Ukraine and yung mga the things that the Ukrainian people are going through. Can you share with us that thought that helped you?
Yeah, a lot of my issues is like I have a fear of getting on the bigger poles, and I have fear of really just executing everything. And then my coach, on the drive going from the hotel going to the competition, he said to me, we saw a message from the high jumper, and he was saying, he's running out of food, and he want to let the whole community or athletics know that this is what's happening to Ukraine now. And then I said to Vitaly, hey, I feel bad for these guys, and it's a shame that this is happening, and like especially at this time and age that we we have proven that war is never really how do you say viable conflict resolution. um yeah, then I was doing my warm-ups and everything, and then he pulls me at the side and he said, okay, let's try, we need to focus on that. And like you said that you feel bad for them, you feel bad for these guys, you feel bad for us. Go show us, do a jump, make it, like do it for not just for Ukraine, just do it for yourself too. But just imagine the difficulty that these guys are doing, and your difficulty is getting on the bigger pole, and your difficulty is how you execute your jump. You're still lucky, and that that kind of mix, how do you say, mix of commands and emotions, and just dedicating my jump to a bigger cause, I think really made me focus on the competition other than anything else. And mentally, I was as sharp as I could be, where normally I am. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm able to jump as good as I did. And hopefully, I can learn how to channel that more consistently.
Okay, I'll ask this question now to Kong Bumble. And while I'm asking, EJ, if maybe you can message our special guest so that we can expect her anytime soon.
Uh,
So we can open the door and let her in. But Kong Bumble, in the context of what's happening sa Ukraine, meron tayong dispute dito na parang mini-gera na din. Patafa, POC, EJ Obiena, parang hindi tayo natututo. That dapat siguro yung peace, yung friendship must start from our country. Ano po masasabi nyo about this?
Well, Kinito, just like the war in Ukraine, we cannot control the attitude and the character of that one person. You know, ganun talaga siya. So, gusto niya gera. Meron lang ako advice kay EJ, no? Just concentrate and focus on your training, on your competition. Yung sa CAS, since we are both, EJ and POC are both respondent, leave it to us. Leave it to us. Anyway, ang ang ano ng gist ng complaint doon, mali daw yung ginawa ng POC. So, wag nang problemahin ni EJ 'yon. Let the POC handle that cash issue, lawyers, arbitrators, etc. And concentrate on your competitions and training. Leave
Well, that's
us
good
to
advice.
us. Yeah.
Thank you po.
That's good advice, EJ. But you
I'll
know,
try to do that.
I'm sure
oh,
that's very reassuring.
yeah. Here's a comment. Congrats, EJ. God will always be with you. Always pray and He will grant your dreams. Yan po galing kay Ian Leal, one of our viewers. EJ, kanina pinag-uusapan mo yung goal of 6 meters. You tried in the last competition and you said you were close. In the SEA Games, I don't know what the structure is or how they start the initial jumps. I don't know what level they will start off all the jumpers. Can you give us an idea? And perhaps if you accomplish already the highest jump, will you be able to maybe break your personal best in the SEA Games? Tell us,
I
enlighten
can
us.
see. I can see where you're getting. Yeah, the most of the guys in the Sea Games are actually good friends of mine. So the
Mm.
two guys that are very strong. I mean, it's always been a powerhouse. Is Thailand. Patsapang Amang is jumping. He just jumped 560, and then the next guy jumped 540. This is actually young. He's born 98, I believe. He's 3 years younger than me. Yeah, but those guys and my close friend from Malaysia, Iskandar, is still jumping. He has a PR of 525, if I'm correct. Hopefully, I'm correct. And we have a bunch of people from Indonesia, Vietnam, but at the moment, those are the two countries that are very, very strong in pole vault in the Southeast Asia. Um, I mean, I can't really answer what I'm going to be able to do in the SEA Games, but as I said a while ago, I want to make history, and let's see if I'm able to pull it off po.
Wow.
Well,
We're looking
sabi ni
forward to
Kong Bumble, di ba you said, Kong Bumble, you believe with even blindfolded, he can win the SEA Games, di ba? I
Yeah,
saw that you had
that's
made that comment.
yes. Last SEA Games, ang second and third is I think Thailand and Malaysia. Last last SEA Games natin. So 45-20, something like that. So kung ganun din lang ang record ng mga yon, kung nagbago ng konti, talaga blindfolded. Diba? Uh, I think all of those countries na participate, they're also waiting to see, to watch EJ.
Right. So they can learn
We
from
are all
him.
proud of EJ, all those neighboring, all those SEA Games countries, even the Asian countries. Diba? So, I don't think, so that's one factor na pagdating doon. Bakit naman di natin palalaro yung si EJ, sasabihin ng Vietnam? Eh, gusto rin namin makita. Gusto rin namin mapanood. Di ba? Because we're part of SEA Games. He is our representative in the Olympics. As not only in ASEAN, but in Asia. Diba?
Right. The
So,
only
fans na rin ni
Asian.
EJ yung mga yon. So, they want to witness EJ too.
Kong, when do you think you'll hear from the SEA Games Federation as to whether EJ will be allowed to compete in the SEA Games? Do you have any idea?
Well, the worst scenario is the D-Day itself.
Oh, on the day.
On the day, that's the very worst scenario. Pero, hopefully, God willing, and we'll pray for that, wag nang umabot sa gano'n. No? It should be a clear sky na, clear in the east, as they say, in a few weeks or a month before flying to Vietnam. Kaya nga, I will ask EJ. Actually, it's already barely 2 months. May 9 ba ngayon? March 9. So it's 2 months.
Yeah.
April 9. Almost 2 months. So I think EJ, with your tell us with your agency, magpabook ka na. Magpabook ka na flight from kayo ni
Wow.
Coach Petro. Magpabook ka na and we'll reimburse it. Diba? Whoever will be the private, magpabook ka na. Hindi pa natin alam kung normal yung flights. So definitely, magpabook ka na kung it's via Italy to if there's a straight flight to Vietnam or via Singapore or Thailand. Better book
Ayun.
now, this early.
Good news, EJ? That kind
Yes,
of
po.
support.
Here's a question from
Thank you.
Gab Pereras. May I ask a question for EJ?
Sir Gab.
Any updates on the financial support that you have given by your fellow Filipino overseas and even Chiang Kai-shek also supporting your training?
Yeah, to be honest, a lot of people are pushing me to do a crowdfunding. At the moment, I've been working with PSC as there's like a funding that's been approved from September to December. Technically speaking, at the time I was still part of the training pool. That funding hasn't been released yet. I believe it's been released to Patafa, if my information's correct. So I'm still working on that. I don't really want to keep asking the Filipino people and my fellow alumni and all my I call them uncles and titos, more of my sponsors, private. How do you know? Good Samaritans. They're good. I'm gonna try to do what I can, and if I still can spend and I can still survive and I can do it, I'm gonna try to avoid not asking for more. But the fact is, expenses incur and expenses happen, and Europe is just not it's not cheap.
Yeah.
Well,
So
and
hopefully,
yeah.
go ahead.
Dayan, baka
Congressman.
meron pa siyang makuha sa baka meron pa siyang makuha if it's unclaimed, all the incentives of the world records, no? Pag na-break mo yung mga world records, there are still incentives by
Oh,
law.
he's entitled to that, no?
Yes, yes. Maiipon yun. Kung if it's not unclaimed, naiipon yun. But makukuha
Dayan, we've reached the 30-minute mark, and EJ, let's let the cat out of the bag. We're actually expecting EJ's German girlfriend, si Caroline, to join us. She's a triple
Yes.
jumper, and I don't know if she's going to be able to join us. Will she?
She's here. She's here. I think she's backstage, so we're gonna welcome her
Okay,
now
let's bring
for
her
the
on.
first
Dayan, can
time.
you introduce?
Caroline,
Wow.
Joy you.
Yes.
B Gates,
So
hello.
nice to see you.
Hello. Yeah, first I want to say thank you for having me. It's really an honor to be here and a part of the interview. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay, we
thank
have
you
a
for
lot of
joining
questions to
us.
ask you, and Diane, fire away because
Well,
we've been waiting for this moment.
yes, well, EJ, of course, needs all the inspiration and support, and the POC is giving that to him, Congressman Bambol Tolentino. But the support that he is getting from you is what we want to ask you about. So, what can you tell us about EJ, how you've been supporting him, and how does it help that you are both track and field athletes? You're a triple jumper, am I correct, for Germany?
Yes. So, what I can say about that, like, in the last past months, it was, of course, always a bit more difficult. And I always try to be there for him. Like, I know we don't have always much time, and then we're in the long distance relationship. So we don't have a lot of time together. But when we have it, then we really talk and try to listen to each other. And I have not so much experience as him, but I really try to see his side of you and to give, I don't know, some types or just like some positive thoughts. I really try to be always positive, and yeah, maybe that helps. I don't know. But just talking and listen sometimes is really good. And yeah.
EJ, tell us about your girlfriend.
Uh, how do I? It's funny. Vitaly was joking about this a lot of times. So after Tokyo, I actually went to her, and I wasn't able to train, not because I was there, but I was like mentally not ready to train. And then suddenly I go back to Italy, and then I started vaulting, and then Vitaly's like, "Oh, maybe next time before you compete, you Caroline should be there." And coincidentally, yet again, she was just here a few weeks ago before I left for France, and then I jumped 590. So whatever she's doing, it's helping.
That's
Yeah.
so
Well, I have
good
to
to
ask this.
hear.
Yeah, I have to ask this question, Caroline. Um, us Filipinos, we always ask very personal questions
Mhm.
because we always ask questions of the heart. So, okay, I'll pop the question. Are there any wedding plans soon? And if there are wedding plans, how
EJ scratching his head.
will this how will this happen? If you get married, can EJ become a German citizen? Can you become a Filipino citizen? And if that happens, maybe Caroline, you can jump for the Philippines. What do you think?
Yeah, that would be cool. It would be special. um, yeah, I don't know. We don't have plans yet, I guess. I mean, I'm still like 20 years old. I actually don't really plan this. Yeah, when it happens, I guess. And yeah, so I just focus now on my studies, on my career as an athlete, and yeah, EJ supports me, I support him, and let's see where the journey brings us.
Kong Bambol, ano po ang comment nyo about this relationship between EJ at saka si Caroline?
Uh, well, now we know why EJ can jump 6.
Wow,
Okay.
Thank,
love it.
thank you, thank you for that new inspiration for
Nice. Double
Ah,
inspiration. Diba?
Kong Bambol, presentado na kung sakasakali man ikasal si EJ kay Karen, kayo ang ninong. O sasabihin ko na,
Of
ipiprint ko na.
course, you're very welcome even to be married here in the Philippines in Tagaytay.
Oh,
Wow! All right.
wow. You have a venue already.
That's great.
EJ, can you briefly tell us how you met? I guess you met in a track meet, and how long ago was this and all that?
Yeah, we met in the very fun place of Formia. Yeah, she was doing a training camp, and then yeah, she was. Let's just say I took a couple of. Kumbaga, lumingon ako ng maraming beses. uh, Yeah, and then I didn't know because she was in the group, so I saw her and the coach walking out. I think they want to go somewhere, so I went back home and then I borrowed the car of the owner, which was like a maybe 25-year-old Ford Fiesta, rusting everywhere. I was like, can I borrow your car? I just maybe need to bring someone somewhere, and then they're like, yeah, sure. And then basically it was what 200 meters away from the track. So that was our first interaction. And then, yeah.
Sweet, sweet. And I
Yeah.
have to ask Caroline, can you tell us what you like about EJ, about as a person, and then also, I guess as an athlete also.
So like the athlete lives beside, he has really two types of EJ. The one is really, really funny, really kind, and yeah, just makes me always laugh. That's really, really good. And the other side is a really smart one, and like he has so much experience with life and what he's thinking of. And I never thought of those kind of parts. I don't know, it's special. And those like two things came together, and yeah, this is really perfect. And as an athlete, again, of course, he has more experience than me. Of course, he's a much better athlete. He has a lot of good meetings, and in trainings, like we talk, of course, a lot about training because we have it every day, and about the relationship between coach and athlete, and give me really so much good times. I don't know what I do without him now. Like really,
Oh, how sweet. Did you hear those
Yeah.
words, EJ? She said perfect, and she said, I don't know what I'd do without him.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Kong
Caroline,
Bumble. You're enjoying this, no? Listening to this, athlete with athlete, the best combination
Yeah.
talaga.
I remember the song, alam ni Kinito yun, Sweet Caroline.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, I
yeah!
know that song too.
Sweet Caroline.
Tama, tama,
Yeah.
tama. Caroline, let me ask you, has your family met EJ? Because I think EJ might have told me that he introduced you to his parents by, I guess, by Zoom.
Yeah. Although it's
Yeah.
not
Multiple
possible
times.
right now, of course.
Uh-huh.
I would like to meet them in person, of course. But yeah, he met my parents a lot of times now. Like I think for Christmas twice, and then yeah, always when he's in Berlin, he stay in my house and my parents, and we're really close already. I guess I don't know. I think so. Yeah.
Great.
Do you
How
come
long
from
have
a
you
big
been?
family? Do you have brothers and sisters?
I have an older sister. Yeah, but she lives in France, not in Berlin anymore. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And she's also an athlete?
No, she's not an athlete. Well, in the past, she did athletics and dancing and volleyball. She did a lot. Yeah, but then she chose just her life with her boyfriend and the study and a family. And yeah, that's really great too.
EJ, can you imagine the genes if you got together with Caroline, with your genes and her genes? Amazing. Diane, what do you think?
Yeah, for sure. Bumble will have to be the Philippine Olympic Committee president still by the time you have kids so that they can develop. Yeah, but
Definitely. Magandang ano niyan, magandang genes ng offspring.
Pinapasubo natin yata sina Caroline at EJ.
Actually, an athlete, world-class athlete like EJ, diba? Or any athlete, actually, for me, I mean, I'm sure you'll agree, EJ, na it's really important to have a very strong support group, not just your training team, but of course your emotional team, your family. And since EJ, you're away from your family, at least you have Caroline with you in Europe, right? That you can talk to and that you can actually see physically, diba? To help you during your ups and downs.
Yeah, that's why. And Christmas and New Year's, I was with her, and she actually went to Italy, and really sweet for her, you know. So yeah, she's definitely one of a kind and special, and can't describe it.
Wow, beautiful words. And Diane, we just got a comment kani-kanina lamang from one of our viewers, Elmer. The comment was, wow, showbiz na tayo sa Play It Right TV. Well, I think we're at the 40-minute mark, Diane. So I know we've overextended our time with Kong Bambol, EJ, and Caroline. Diane, maybe we can ask them for their final messages to all of our viewers. I'm sure maraming mga viewers kilig na nakikita sila EJ at saka si Caroline for the first time with their padrino, Kong Bambol. Diane.
Yeah, so go ahead. We can start with Kong Bumble. Your final words for
Yeah,
EJ,
it's
the
of
upcoming.
course it's written in the Bible. Go and multiply. It's written in the Bible. But for EJ, yung sinabi ko kayo na don't be distracted with the cash issue. Leave it to us for POC. And of course, we're gonna pray hard for the Vietnam Sea Games, and you should try to book with your flight with Coach Petrov. If you like to bring, tell me before March 12 if you want Caroline to be with you in Vietnam Sea Games. I'll give her accreditation of NOC guest. NOC
Wow.
distinguished guest.
I think she's busy.
Wow. VIP,
I'm not
VIP.
sure. It's her call.
EJ, your final words for us before we let you go.
First, I just want to say thank you everyone to who's supporting me and who's positive messages. I'm really I'm I'm blessed to have you guys, and thank you for this time to actually just chat of something quite how do you say, refreshing and funny at the same time, a little bit of pressure, but you know, life is what it is. And thank you for having me. Thank you, Kombambo, for all your help and all your support, and I really do appreciate it. And you know, it's a tough time, but it's a little bit better having your support and having your encouraging words. It really is how do you say, it's not just motivating, it's really is greatly deeply appreciated. But
Oh, okay.
Energizing for sure. Athletes, man, it's all about support and believing and confidence. So, Caroline, can we hear from you? Finally, thank you for letting us meet you, and we can't wait to see you face to face.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was really nice. Thank you.
Don't worry too much about all the things we said. We just us Filipinos
Oh,
joke around. But we we
no,
really
I'm good. But it was fun.
EJ always tells us about you, how thankful he is for your support, and thank you for also supporting our pride and joy in pole vaulting. God bless you, and
Yes.
good luck in your next competition, Caroline.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And a special thanks to everyone. Kong Bambol, thank you for your time. EJ, continue doing what you're doing. And Caroline, thank you for supporting our idol. Someone who everyone in the Philippines looks up to, except maybe a few people from Patafa, but maybe they'll come around eventually. We want to be united. We want to be in support of EJ. And we know how much you support and love him. So we appreciate that very, very much. And on that note, Diane,
Thank you very much for joining us in this super special Play It Right TV live episode this Wednesday night. We hope that you'll join us in our future episodes. Thank you again to our guests. Let's keep praying and believing. EJ, we're going to believe you're going to jump that 6 meters in no time. Right? Thank you also for your support, Kong Bumble. Means so much. Thank you for always helping Philippine sports. And God bless you, Philippines. Until the next time, I'm Diane Castillejo.
this is Kinito Henson,
And we're
and
always here
we are
to play it right.